Oh, motherfucker, you can't have my cornbread. That's for damn sure. Because if you try to take my cornbread, part 2 of my killing spree gonna begin up in here on your ass right now. If you think about my cornbread, get the taste out your mouth. That's for damn sure. Now, fuck him. Fuck that. Because I'm from New York City, goddammit. Nobody take no cornbread from me. That goes for you and any other you motherfucking farmers wanna try some shit. You fuck around with me, it's gonna be consequences and repercussions.
Haters gonna hate. And ain'ters gonna ain't.
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Maestro Styles, Trey Frazier, the Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Welcome to the show. Another week, another show.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate everybody who was going to tune in and listen. If you are a returning listener, welcome back. And if you're a first-time visitor, welcome. Hope to see you in the future. Hope to hear from you in the future. Real quick, follow us on Instagram at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Individually, you can follow Trey Frazier at Trey Frazier and myself at Maestro Styles. On Twitter, you can follow me at Maestro Styles. You can follow Trey at Barbershop SPOR2. Make sure you like the Facebook page and subscribe on YouTube as we are working diligently to get some new content on up on YouTube, but we'll get there soon enough. Hey man, real quick, man. I definitely want to. I want to take the time to shout out black people real quick. Nothing. Just a real impromptu shout out to the black people in the world. It's a tough time, and I just want to make sure I shout out black people right now. Trey, what's going on, man?
I tell you what, that's a good shout out to make, man. This is day number 22 or 23 of a lot of protests that are still going on in this country in most of these cities, and I love every minute of it, man. And obviously, I'm talking the positive protest. I don't condone looting, rioting, that kind of a thing. If it happens, so be it. But I like the fact that this is getting the attention that it rightfully deserves. And I'll give another shout out to the family of one Rayshard Brooks.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to that brother too.
Condolences for certain.
For losing his life to the hands of police in Atlanta over the weekend. I think it was Friday night. And just another, sad story.
Another reason why we gotta keep going.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. I really think everything we're going to talk about tonight is going to center around what we're fighting for right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you got guys in the NBA talking about not so much ready to play, but don't feel like it's a good idea to just get basketball up and running again.
Right.
And then you got baseball players who did a video, black baseball players, they did a video, which I didn't see yet, but I heard guys like Andrew McCutchen, Mookie Betts, just to name a few, they did a video similar to what the NFL black guys did.
Hey, my fault. Hold on, my fault. Turn your game down just a bit.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
All right. Let me know if that's good enough.
Yeah, that sounds better.
Okay. All right. No doubt. Sorry if I was coming in loud.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't nothing you was doing. We didn't test before we came in, so.
No, that's all right. That's cool. So I think tonight is going to be special because I think everything that we're going to talk about gets centered around what we're all fighting for as a people right now. So if nothing else, man, you want to get started with some Kyrie talk, we could definitely do that.
Yeah. Where you stand at? Where you stand with it, man? Where you at with this?
So I had a chance to watch Dwight Howard's appearance on Don Lemon last night on CNN, and he talked about how basketball, at least for him in his eyes, wasn't of importance at the moment, given the kind of state we're in as a country right now and what black people are fighting for in terms of equality and, all the things that we've been, fighting for so many years.
Right.
And after listening to Dwight last night, and I know people like to poke fun at him with the butt thing and, how he's not tough enough mentally when it comes to his game and all that. I'm on the side of Dwight Howard. And I'm on the side of him and to a degree Kyrie, because they're both kind of speaking the same language when it comes to putting the importance of social injustice and protest and putting more focus on fighting for these rights than those guys being bundled up in Orlando trying to get a season restored again.
Yeah.
So here's my take on it, right? There's this saying that sports is a distraction. And I agree with that statement 100%.
Really?
But I also, huh?
No, I said really.
Yeah, I do. I think sports can be a distraction. I think in most white people's eyes, and I'm just strictly talking white people, whether they're racist or not. Mm-hmm. I think for them, sports is a distraction as well. That's why I believe sometimes you'll hear folks like Laura Ingraham on Fox News say, shut up and dribble. You'll hear other people say, well, stick to sports. This is not your arena. You shouldn't be talking politics, that kind of a thing. I'm on the side of Dwight in this sense, that the fellas getting back to basketball could not really hurt the chances of us, getting the changes that we want changed, but keeping the focus. Because let's be honest. Nobody's really watching NASCAR. I think everything right now with no sports, no football, no baseball, no NBA, the focus is right on what we were talking about at the top of the show. Social injustice, the protests, the fight to keep, with all the changes that they've made with the police departments in each of these cities. We discussed some of that. I posted some of that on our Instagram page the other day. And those guys going back to playing basketball will get fans refocused on, these guys are playing basketball again. They're getting their season going. Now we got something to watch on TV. Because let's face it, I've been watching news for the last 3 months. I've been watching too much news, to be quite honest with you. Uh-huh. And it's when people say, let's find a distraction, it's usually sports. And guess what? There hasn't been any sports to distract people from what's been taking place in the streets and what we got going on in this country. So I'm on the side of those guys in the sense that, hey, if you guys want to not play because you want to work and put more efforts toward keeping everybody in the country focused on what we're doing as a society, then I'm all for it 100%.
Okay, so do you think this is do you think there's a possibility that this can be a healthy distraction? This being them playing, or so I mean, you're 100% on the wheel that this is an unhealthy distraction, or let me ask you: you're saying this is an unhealthy distraction? Am I clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I disagree. I think sports and music bring more awareness to whatever issue you're trying to bring awareness to than hell, damn near. Besides flat out going out and protesting, and you know what I'm saying. But it's the medicine and the candy approach. You know what I'm saying? There are things that players can do individually right now, or teams could do as teams right now, that's going to help bring awareness to to police brutality and social injustices while they're playing. As far as Kyrie and Dwight Howard's point go, you not playing is going to mean what? they're still going to play. LeBron is adamant that he's ready to play.
Yeah.
And I forget who said it. I don't know if it was Steven Jackson. I can't remember who it was. But if LeBron play, Big Dog play, Bama's is going to play. So it's
Patrick Beverly.
Patrick Beverly, thank you.
Yep.
I could respect that you feel a concern for it being there being a distraction, but for me, I would take that airtime, and I would find some dope shit to do on camera. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm reminded of when they came out with the shirts after I'm drawing a blank.
I know what you're referring to.
The Clippers.
The Clippers.
The Clippers. But that too. This is the time more than ever where teams and individuals can contribute and can promote awareness on the court, and nobody's going to say anything. Nobody's going to check them. Not an Adam Silver. Maybe coaches might try to check them behind closed doors, but then even then, it's time to expose them coaches at this point. Like we really on a hotbed right now where everything you do can be.
It's cancel culture season right now.
Well, but more than that, we can expose. It's wide open. We can promote, expose, and whatever we want to put, as long as we got a platform to do it on. And whether Kyrie want to admit it or not, the NBA playing in those games is a platform to promote social awareness. Obviously, he won't get to say anything unless he gets an interview, which if he balls out in a game and he's the main reason why they win a game, they're going to interview him. Then there you go. That's your platform to speak on social awareness to people who wasn't even trying to hear, police brutality or wasn't trying to hear about social injustice. Now you force feeding it to them in a way that you were trying to force feed it to them if you weren't playing. You know what I'm saying? Like if he wanted to do this just to say, I'm gonna take this time and go, protest or do whatever. Like what were you going to do? I see this as an opportunity. And then at the end of the day, Trey, why not get paid? Because don't we need money? Don't we need money to help this systematic oppression?
We do need money. We do need funding. We do need these kinds of resources to help further the Black Lives Matter movement and other movements.
And I ain't talking about just, what the NBA is donating, and God bless them for how they're contributing financially. But some of that money got to come out of players' pockets too. And
of course.
And you're making the money. So, if you want to help us, if you want to help the cause, you want to help us as people, this ain't gonna hurt. I get how people would look at it and say it can hurt, but I look at it as an opportunity, man. We can spread social awareness. This could Kaepernick started this whole thing on national television. You know what I'm saying? He was on TV when they noticed what he was doing and asked him about it, and it was on camera. It was on a platform. So why not take advantage of the platform?
Yeah,
and get paid while doing it.
Yeah, your point about the money is fair. I don't think I see like a right or wrong. You know what I mean? Like I think I see both viewpoints. I think
I'm just saying I disagree with Kyrie is what I'm saying. I mean, if that's what he want to do, yeah, for certain, that's his business.
Right.
But I definitely disagree.
And to counteract with that point, Kyrie, he's not going to be enough to do what he wants to do. Obviously, he's got to have players that's going to back him in a way where it's meaningful, it's powerful, it drives home the point. But I was more so kind of responding to what Dwight was saying last night. And
I didn't see him on Dwight on Don Lemon. I'm sorry, I didn't see him on Don Lemon. I didn't even know he was on. Right. So I didn't even think he was coming on either. But once they announced that he was coming, I was like, oh, I got to hear what Dwight's got to say about all this. Mm-hmm. And as he was talking, in my head, I'm thinking, man, there's probably not going to be another opportunity like we have right now, where we got white America's attention,
right now because, again, white people find sports as a distraction. Hell, I find sports as a distraction. But if this is for the sake of us trying to get changes made within the police departments across this country, reform, defunding, all these things, and there's nothing out there that's to distract white America from all the protests and things like that, then, man, we got to take advantage of this time because God knows if we're ever going to see this again. I mean, this is the first time we're actually experiencing something to where you have 23 days straight of almost every city in this country out in the streets protesting peacefully, bringing awareness to this thing. Right. I don't know when we're gonna get this opportunity again. But I do see your point in regards to the money factor. And just to add to your point, I saw Stephen A's video yesterday. It was like 4 or 5 minutes. He was responding to something that Steven Jackson had said.
Okay.
Steven Jackson was basically saying how the reason all the heads at ESPN are, pushing the NBA to try to get their season started because, ESPN has the contract with the NBA to air the games. Mm-hmm. And obviously this is a big money ploy by all the heads there, including Stephen A. Smith, who, is a basketball lifer. So, of course, Stephen A. is going to push the narrative that these players need to just go ahead and just get the season started and not worry about, what's going on as far as bringing attention to it. And I agree with Stephen A's point that, you got guys like LeBron that, whose voice can carry globally that can, get that message out there and still play at the same time. But I think it's also fair to note that the money thing, you can't escape the money part to this.
Yeah.
Folks got to get paid in the league.
Yeah. Folks
got to get paid at the networks who, let's face it, the networks lost money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even with the Last Dance airing for 5 straight weeks and, they airing Korean baseball 5 o'clock in the morning on ESPN.
Yeah.
These networks are still losing money what they would have been had the finals been playing. This is the month for the NBA finals.
They've been playing repeats.
Yeah, right. They've been playing repeats. The same thing with NBA TV, NFL Network. Not that, the NFL's, was at a disadvantage. It's the off season for them, but the other leagues. I mean, look at baseball. They're about to not have a season.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, I don't give a damn at this point because they're really just arguing about money at this point when you got 40 million people that's still trying to get their unemployment claims. So
right.
I could care less in regards to how they feel about it. But for the NBA and for the networks, they losing money out of their pockets, man. And I don't blame Stephen A. if he wants to push, that narrative that these players need to, just go ahead and, carry on with the season. But I get Dwight's point where this opportunity is large. And we got the attention right now of the white people in America.
So we clear, just so we clear for, the listeners and, and so that me and you are clear, do the NBA, are we saying that the NBA shouldn't be playing because of police brutality that's been going on for the past month, or are we doing it are we saying this because of COVID-19? Or both?
All things can be true. I'm saying it because of the pandemic. The pandemic has obviously stopped the sport to keep from playing. All the events that happened to Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, and now Rayshard Brooks, all this has brought awareness to the problems, police brutality, other social injustices, and folks are just tired of being in the crib, cooped up, unemployed, desperate, not knowing, when the next piece of food's coming on the table. And, all of this is the reason why all the protests are happening. And it's been happening for, 3 weeks straight. And there's nothing else to distract people from. So I think all things can be true. Mm-hmm. I think that the pandemic is a part of this. I think the fact that players, and And Damian Lillard, I think, brings up some good points also, where he talks about the safety for each of the players.
Yeah.
He's not confident that players in a bubble in Orlando is going to work. He's not confident about that, especially for a dude who's on a team that's the 10th or 11th seed in the West right now, and not even sure that they're even going to get to the playoffs.
Right.
So I see his point. Granted, they're giving him an 8-game season to try to, play some catch up, but I see Damian Lillard's point. There's safety issues involved. So I think all things can be true. We're saying this because the pandemic has opened this thing up. It's put a halt on everything. There's a focus right now that we got everybody's attention on this earth, that it's protest, it's social injustice, police brutality, it's the disadvantages that black, people in this country have been suffering for almost 400 years. And it gives us an opportunity to not only educate ourselves, but educate other folks that just aren't, hip to, what's been going on.
Yeah. If we're going to play basketball, and it seems like, I feel like they're rushing this because of the economy. Essentially, we've been talking about it for as long as it's been going on. That we're going through something right now where the economy is suffering in a major way, and they want this economy to recover. We don't want to be in a depression. We don't want to be financially fucked up, and so let's do this with precautions. And if they're going to do it, and it seems like they're going to do it, and it seems like it's enough people that are tired of sitting home. There's enough basketball players that are tired of sitting home, and players that want rings, and players that's worried about their contracts to come up. It's a lot of stuff.
Legacies.
Legacies on a long-term scale, but I'm talking about cats who was on a 1-year contract. Cats was on their last year of their contract who was ready to re-up, and I don't know those specific names, but I'm sure there are cats that was trying to get a payday, and that's going to get prolonged. And it's like it's going to be based on particularly these cats that's going to be in Orlando. It's going to be based on how they do in Orlando. Their contract is going to play a role in that. If they was looking to re-up, for the next basketball season. So it's a lot at stake, and with Wild, I'm not okay with it. I don't condone, I get it. I don't condone the whole Orlando thing. As much as I would rather, I want to see basketball, I would rather we come with a little more, I'd rather be more confident that that this is over, this pandemic is over. But if y'all gonna do it, and there's nothing I can do to stop y'all from doing it, players should take advantage. If you're going to play, you should take advantage. And I would respect if Kyrie don't play, and I would respect more if the NBA respected his wishes in saying, look, we get why you're not playing. No harm, no foul. I would, in a perfect world.
The league should allow whoever doesn't want to play to not play.
Yeah.
I think the league should move on and do what they got to do because of their financial situations. I think the players, if they don't want to play because of safety concerns or they want to, focus more on the social injustice issues, then let them do what they got to do, for their families and, whatnot. And then for the players that are just getting paid the $1 million contract or, the $5 million, this is bread that they might, see once in a lifetime. They might not ever get the payday, just like you were saying earlier. So I think both parties, if it comes down to it, should just kind of, move their separate ways. I'm not against the league coming back. If they come back and they start games, then I'll watch. And plus there is sort of an intrigue because they're not letting fans into the stadiums.
Right.
So I am intrigued to see how that looks, how that shapes out to be. And they're also talking about broadcast teams actually calling games from their houses. I'm not even sure how that's gonna, look in terms of you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there is some intrigue off the break how this thing is gonna shape out. Now, if they don't come back because maybe enough players come out and say, you know what, we can't do this. You know, there's going to be another spike, which, you know, most people are talking about, but then you got some companies that have started back up and trying to get back into normal, sort of trying to be a little tone deaf about what's going on with the COVID numbers. Because let's face it, every city in America for the last 3 weeks has been getting into large crowds. You have some people that are wearing masks, doing the social distancing thing, and then you have some people out there not giving a damn. And just going out there, you know, sneezing, coughing it up, and, you know, God knows what else. And so my expectation is that these numbers are going to spike if it hasn't already. And I know some states out there have seen numbers go up. So, and I just read an article down in Florida. They didn't shut down all the bars back down there because customers were getting sick, and so they got to shut it down. I see the same thing happening here.
Yeah, don't worry, because I don't plan on going to no restaurants or no nothing.
Yeah,
you know.
I don't care if they're dining outside. I don't care.
I stick to the carry out and the delivery. Let me say what's up to Deacon Dale, Miss Smoker Bella of the X Squad, and Big Cat 303. Appreciate y'all for joining in on the chat room. While we still on COVID-19 and you know, police brutality, Ezekiel Elliot has been diagnosed, or it's been shown that he has COVID-19, tested positive. Thank you. That he has COVID-19. I haven't heard anything besides that he's tested positive. I can't help but, if you're asking me, I can't help but think about that that instance a few weeks ago where him and Dak Prescott had a gathering with over 10 people, and I can't help but harken back to that and think, you know, how that may have played a role. It's the first thing I thought of. Like, how did that, or if it did, even if it did play a role, we don't know for certain. But how that might have played a role in him testing positive, man. Because, man,
and how long ago was that?
Maybe a month ago, maybe
a little over a month ago. Okay.
Yeah. But all in all, because I'm certainly not here to, you know, not in this time place blame or ha I told you so. Get well, you know, rest up, and praying for you and your family, because you know, you got to be home with that with your family.
So my question in response to him testing positive, how does the league react? And I understand that it's still the off season and there's no OTAs, there's no training camp and all that, but imagine come August and you're in the preseason and you're, you know, prepping for September for the season to get started, and one of your stars tests positive. How does the league react to that?
Hell, one of your role players tests positive.
Right.
I mean, well, Roger Goodell says that he expects more players to test positive when it's time to start testing. You know, I don't know when they plan on testing. I don't know what their plan is to deal with it when it's time for players to start meeting up, teams to start meeting up. But he expects that there's going to be a few players and, you know, team, you know, coaches, whoever, that are going to test positive. I don't know what their plan is to, you know, remedy that. But he did say in a press release that he expects it to be, he expects this to happen.
Of course. And I think every league should expect the same.
Right.
And whatever protocols they got to set, they better make sure that they got enough medical people on staff that can respond to any positive test. And they better be practicing social distancing in some way.
But and see, here's the thing. We're 3 months in, and I'm noticing it at my job. How do you socially? I mean, if y'all back to work, you know, football, you know, whoever, and y'all back to work, how do you really socially distance?
It's tough.
It's not gonna.
It's tough.
Let me be clear. It's not gonna happen.
No, it's not going to happen, the way I think, people who live in this perfect world expect it to be. So this week was my first week back in the office, like full time, but I'm still doing like half days at the office, half days at home, still trying to slowly transition back to everything. But it's tough because they say if you're going to get out and walk around, you got to wear your mask. So sometimes I catch myself Sometimes I leave my chair and I forget my mask. Because it's a mental thing. Because I'm thinking, okay, I'm back at the office.
Yeah,
and
muscle
all
memory.
These extra, these extra things that I got to remember every day. I'm not caught up to speed yet. We come into the mornings. You got to take your temperature. Okay, there was a day or two where I just came in and just forgot to take my temperature.
Right.
So it's not going to be easy. It's just hard to practice these social distancing things. And I heard John Harbaugh talk about this on the radio the other day, where he just said that the league is forcing them to do things that are just impossible to try to fit into, what social distancing is. Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you when you told me that that you might be late to record, I figured, okay, I went to go take a jog before the show, and I mean, I don't know if these young kids was a team because there was a coach there with them. They was out there practicing. They didn't have pads on or nothing, but they was practicing. There was a dance team on the track that I was jogging on. There were plenty of people that didn't have masks on. So and they weren't social distancing. So it's like we're at a point now where it's like, all right, bro, like y'all want to push the economy, and we want to go outside, and we want some normalcy in our lives, and it's like it's going to get to a point where people just don't care, and and if I'm being even more honest, a lot of people, I ain't gonna say most people, but there are a lot of people that just flat out don't care no more. Like you were saying, you was talking about the people just running around coughing, doing, but like people just don't care. People, it's not even second nature to them, even though we've been doing it for 3 months. It's the world we live in.
and to add to that, let's be honest. We're going to get back to normal. We're going to decide to get back to normal by how comfortable we feel.
Yeah, it's going to have nothing to do with numbers.
It's not going to have nothing to do with numbers. It's not going to have nothing to do with what an expert says on TV. It's going to be how comfortable we are. And it goes for our kids too. How comfortable am I to take Nate to the barbershop? Which, by the way, I got his hair cut, on Saturday. Yeah. Shout out to Bree. She came by the crib and, gave Nate his haircut.
What's up? Shout A.
Yeah. Shout out to her. Shout out to Bree. Shout out to Bree for that. So. But yeah, that was a decision made by me because I'm not going to wait for no expert to tell me, hey, it's okay. I'm not waiting for the numbers.
And who the hell is an expert anymore?
Right. Like, have you noticed Dr. Fauci has been, like, MIA ever since the protest started? Like you haven't heard from him. Like, you used to see him on TV next to the president talking about, this, that. It's this going to get worse. We're projected 100,000 of this. That dude has not been able to be found for the last couple weeks. So I don't know, man. I don't know who to trust. The only person I could trust is my gut right now.
The only person I could trust is my God.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. There you go, man.
So kicking back in with social injustice, NASCAR bans the Confederate flag, and I want to send a special fuck you nigga to Ray Ciccarelli, whoever his name is. I don't
even know the guy.
I never knew who he was until I saw the headline last week where he quit NASCAR, retired, because they are banning Confederate flags, and he don't like the direction that NASCAR is going into. Bye. Peace out.
I don't think diehard NASCAR fans knew who this guy was.
Yeah.
And shout out to you for posting that tweet. Straight bars.
Yeah.
I thought that was real clever. I forget who the guy that tweeted that.
Yeah, I don't remember
that was real clever. And yeah, I never knew who this Ray guy was.
And the bum never won a race. Like we ain't
Nope.
NASCAR ain't gonna miss you, bruh.
Nope. I think he came in 10th place once in his career, and that was the most he's ever finished in a race.
You a bum, loser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And shout out to Bubba Wallace, the black NASCAR driver. Did you see the Black Lives Matter car?
I did.
Yeah,
Straight
shout
fire.
out. Yeah, shout out to him. Shout out to soccer. Did you see the Black Lives Matter jerseys?
I didn't see the jerseys, but I heard that soccer is very adamant about spreading the message and getting that word out there.
I don't know if it's for a season or for a specific day or tournament or something of that nature, but the players, there will be no jersey names. In place of the jersey names will be Black Lives Matter on everybody's jersey.
Oh man, I gotta research that now.
Yeah. So shout out
in place of the names.
In place of their names, it's going to be Black Lives Matter. Yep. So shout out to soccer ML. I guess if it's MLS or I don't know. I don't know about soccer.
MLS. Okay.
Yeah. Which I need to stop. I need to start learning about soccer, man, because my nephew. Mm-hmm. This dude is a beast, like for real, a beast. Like not like that's my nephew type. He a beast, like he a beast. I'm gonna send you his IG when I think about it.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I need to make sure that that his parents are okay with me posting, whatever. Because he's getting love from professional. He's actually getting love on IG from professional soccer players.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope.
So shout out to
the only soccer expert I know about is my father-in-law. Yeah. And that's because in his country, that's the sport that, they play. So if anything, if there's a person to speak to in regards to that, it would definitely be him. I don't know. I just can't get into the sport.
Well, I just want to be good enough to know what's going on and know when he's doing good and know when he's doing bad, because I am definitely going to try to make it my business to start going to some of his games when they start opening back up,
right.
Because he putting in work. Like his parents is running his Instagram, and he going out and practicing there. He's practicing every single day. Like he's getting drills from professionals, like professional soccer players, like telling him, "Hey, you need to work on this. You need to work on that." Like he having conversations with them. They're commenting on his post type shit. So he's definitely doing making some moves, and he focused. They got him focused over there.
How much do you think DC United tickets are?
Shit, I don't know.
What they are?
Yeah, shit, I wouldn't know. I
would like to investigate that.
Yeah,
maybe we go to a couple matches or something.
I'll be honest with you. I'd rather just go to my nephew's games and learn that way. And if I can enjoy, thoroughly enjoy a soccer game, besides the fact that it's my nephew, then I will maybe look into this DC United thing. But I tell you one thing, I am definitely looking for those Black Lives Matter soccer jerseys.
Yeah, I'm on the website now trying to see what they look like.
Yeah.
But since we still on this topic, man, I wanted to get how you feel about Confederate statues and really just kind of statues in general. So just a couple stories that I found over the week. Right, so the Panthers' own when he bought the Panthers a couple years ago, in the agreement was that the Jerry Richardson, who was the former owner of the Panthers, had a statue right out Bank of America Stadium, and in that agreement was that along with the sale of the team, the statue had to still stay in place. Nonetheless, they signed the agreement. Obviously, David Tepper is the owner of the Panthers, and a decision was made over the week to have Jerry Richardson's statue removed from outside of Bank of America Stadium.
Yep.
I don't know what they're going to do with it. I don't give a damn what they do with it.
Nope.
As far as, where they're going to store it or whatever, quite frankly, if Jerry Richardson wants it, he can have it. He can put it on his house.
Yep.
On his lawn or whatever.
Yep. You could be racist in your private property.
I don't want to hear that Jerry Richardson brought the NFL to the Carolinas. I don't give a damn.
Good.
Nobody was asking for it in 1995.
And even if they were, and you bought it, good for you. You did something good in 1995. Times changed.
Yep.
Over 20 years ago, times changed.
Exactly. And then just to kind of finish my point about the statue. So I know here in Baltimore they've removed a bunch of Confederate statues, as well as places in the South. They've done the same thing in Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, and this whole movement of moving statues. And I know in Philly they tried to remove a couple, and you see a bunch of white people just kind of circling the statue, like, yo, like, if y'all want some, right, like they looking for some smoke or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, how do you feel about the whole, statue thing, like, overall?
Those types of statues belong in private museums and not in public places.
Agreed, 100%.
Yeah. See, for me, because look, you racist, you all that and that, but that is a part of your history, part of American history. No matter how ignorant, no matter how hateful, and it's a part of history. So when people, in years to come want to know about the history of America, it should be there. Now, both sides of the story should be told in that same museum.
Of course.
But it should be there. We should have that type of memorabilia. But when it's out in public forums, it says, look at us, look at this. This is something to revere. And none of those dudes should be revered in 2020, and really never. But if we're talking about now, where we at as a country now, and where we've been as a country, or where they say we've been as a country since, I guess, the late 60s, or 70s when civil rights ended. These statues shouldn't hang, because these guys are representatives of the times before we were quote unquote free. So every statue, every flag that represents that, should be taken down out of public forums. But I want to make sure I'm clear. They should be somewhere, because it's a part of America's history, and we should never forget, not only as black people, but as people, period, where we've come from. How far we've gotten. We should never forget that. But not on a public forum. Put it in museums, and make a conscious effort to hire people who understand the history, both sides of it, the oppressive side of it and the righteous side of it, from the oppressor's point of view and from the oppressed point of view. Because just seeing it without context, leaves questions. And if we are anything in this world, we are a bad game of telephone. And if the information ain't given out right, it's not going to be put out right.
If there's a couple things that I agree with about white people who say you can't just remove the history, I agree there. You can't remove the history. You said the same thing. You can't just abolish history like it never happened. I am stunned that in a capitalist America that we live in, that there aren't museums, or I should say more museums, that would showcase these Confederate statues.
I don't even know if they exist. I just don't know that they exist. I ain't looking for them, obviously, but I don't know that they exist.
But I'm saying from a standpoint of, you got the audience for people that want to revere these statues and want to see these statues.
Right.
You have a large enough audience for that. Why not monetize that or take advantage of that, money-wise, and put these things in a museum in every city, and you can make money off of it.
Do people go to museums? When the last time you've been to a museum? The African American one?
No, I was at what is that in Tennessee? We did our our road trip, and we went to it was the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame Museum, right on the University of Tennessee's campus, right there. That was the last time we were at a museum, and shortly before that, it was the NASCAR Hall of Fame Museum down in Charlotte.
Irony.
Yeah, right. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. When's the last time you've been to a museum?
I was married, so that long ago.
Okay.
I feel like the last time it was the Wax Museum in Chinatown is the last time I've been to a with Madame Tussauds, I think it is. It's the last time I've been to a museum. It was a school field trip. That's the last time I believe I've been to a museum.
Good old school trips.
Yeah, and it was a school field trip. Let's be clear, because if it wasn't a school field trip, I wouldn't have been there.
You wouldn't be caught up in there.
Yeah. I keep saying I'm gonna go to the African American Museum, and you know what? I may go to that museum this Friday because I called off for Juneteenth this week, this Friday. I may take that time to go to that museum.
Yeah, I want to go to that one too in DC, and there was one in Nashville that was supposed to open up, I think, last year. And when we went to Atlanta to my mother's, that was a place I was trying to go because Nashville and Atlanta are like 3 hours apart. So we were going to try to do that trip. So yeah, I definitely going to, check out some African American history, and, with everything that's been going on this year, I'm sure that all of this stuff will somehow get incorporated into the museums to showcase for, down the line and into the future.
Yeah.
So we definitely gotta, hit up some of this stuff, man. Get some education, man.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be a part of my day on Friday. I think I am going to go to the to that museum and see what's going on. I made it my business. I'm gonna pull the camera out, take some pictures. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that Friday. I think that's what I'm gonna do.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Because apparently wax museums don't count. Before you start, let me say what's up to Vince Wright.
You said wax museum.
According to Vince Wright,
what
who
up,
just joined the chat room, shout out to him. Wax museums don't count.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know if I know there's one here in Baltimore, but I'm not really all that.
Well, let's be clear. I didn't even want to go, but he says that don't count. So if you're asking me the time before that wax museum, it was the Air and Space Museum.
I've been there before.
Yeah, but that was.
I've been there before.
But that's easy. That's easily been 10 years ago. Like easily, it's been 10 years ago.
Right. And now that you think about it, since we're talking about museums along that mall area, when me and Debbie first started dating, we went to the Holocaust Museum, which is not far from there too. Mm-hmm. So you're talking almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, and happy belated birthday to your wife, man.
Yes.
I had a session, so I couldn't get in. To join y'all for y'all celebration. But yeah, definitely happy belated. And while we're on birthdays, today Tupac turned 49 years old. Happy birthday to Tupac Shakur.
Wow, 49?
49.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. 1970. Yeah. 1970. Yeah, 71.
Mm-hmm.
71. Yeah, Biggie was 72. That's right. That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
And happy belated birthday to the homie Melvin too.
Yeah, for sure.
For certain. And yeah, happy birthday to Debbie too. That was real special weekend this past weekend.
That's what's up.
We were able to get everybody in a Zoom, meeting. Had two separate meetings. We had a family one and then we had a friends one. So it was great.
Yep.
It was great. Hey, I wanted to bring up the Texans for a second.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know how I've been about Bill O'Brien and, his style of coaching and,
how he handled DeAndre Hopkins.
How he handled that whole situation, and just like anything negative about Bill O'Brien, I gotta throw some smoke his way. I tell you what, man, and again, actions speak louder than words, but he came out and was like, I'm a kneel for the anthem. When the season starts, I'm a kneel. And I'm like, that's pretty big coming from a coach. A coach who's been ridiculed for a lot.
Yeah.
Recently anyway.
And low key, we wonder, is he racist? Him, not only him, but the owner.
The ownership. Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, take a knee.
We know because the original owner died.
Right. You're right. Yep. I'm sorry. Yep. Okay. Yep. You're right.
So
right. Rest in peace, Goodell, and apologies. Yeah.
I think definitely that guy was racist, and I don't want to speak ill will of anybody of the dead, but they had that issue. What was the issue they had?
I know it had something to do. It was amidst of all the Colin Kaepernick kneeling and all of that. Yeah. I don't remember it specifically, and so and because of that, I don't want to. I don't know.
Sure.
Sure. But I tell you this. Shout out to Bill O'Brien for taking for standing with his players. That is if it's just a team building and an attempt to team build. All right, I would wish it was for the right reasons, but I'll take it in sense of what it looks like visually.
Right.
Also, Baker Mayfield says that he's going to kneel and he don't care if you lose fans behind it.
Yes. Shout out to Baker.
Yeah, I mean, all of this could be a show to help appease black people, and I mean, especially in their positions, considering coach and quarterback need these guys. I don't know. I don't know these dudes' hearts. I don't want. The point is that they are standing with us, and as of right now, we'll take it until we know not to take it. So shouts out to Bill O'Brien. Shouts out to Baker Mayfield. Shout out to any white or of any nationality that will stand with the cause.
J.J. Watt came out. He actually he lambasted somebody on Twitter the other day. Somebody said, "Hey, I know J.J. Watt ain't you're not too proud about what's going on with the league and stuff." And so J.J. Watt responded and was like, "Hey, first of all, don't speak for me, number one. And number two, if you haven't been paying attention about why Kaepernick kneeled during the anthem, it wasn't about the flag.
Yeah.
It was about bringing awareness to social injustices, police brutality, and the like." So J.J. made it very clear on Twitter that he's with the cause for certain.
Yeah, I mean, look, man. It's hard for me to understand, and not to harp on Drew Brees from last week, but it's just hard for me for any NFL player, white NFL player, to not understand why this is important and to understand what was being done. It's hard for me to fathom that anybody could still in 2020 say kneeling for the flag is disrespecting the military or doing anything but protesting social injustice and police brutality. I got to continue to drive that point because it's you want to be stupid if you don't understand at this point.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I'm gonna throw three more names at you. Joe Burrow came out on Twitter. I don't know if you saw that, but he came out on Twitter right after the George Floyd situation, and he said, "Hey, black people are at a disadvantage." I'm paraphrasing, but he came out and said specifically, black people have been disadvantaged for such a long time. Carson Wentz. Same thing on Twitter, called it out like it was, didn't sugarcoat anything. Trevor Lawrence, who's not even in the NFL yet, still, playing with Clemson. And I guess Clemson's got some issues going on too.
Yeah, I don't have enough information on that, on the Clemson thing. I saw it, but I didn't really know what was going on.
Yeah, well, I do know that DeAndre Hopkins, during every game, when they announced the players on the field, he makes sure that the announcer doesn't tell them that he went to Clemson.
Yeah.
Right. That was sort of his way of protesting whatever the dude that I guess the university has named, like some kind of building on their campus was named after a well-known, racist from back in the day.
Yeah.
So that's what he was protesting against. So shout out to DeAndre Hopkins for doing that.
For sure. Who was I about to? The coach at
OSU.
Yeah. What the hell does OAN mean? What is that acronym?
Something American Network. That network was sponsored by Donald Trump on several occasions.
Okay.
And that network also had content that was basically expressing itself about how they felt about the Black Lives Matter movement. They're against it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And he wore the T-shirt, and
he wore the T-shirt, and he thought it was going to be okay. And his running back, I forget his name, came out and was like, "No, I don't appreciate that." And those two apparently they did a video together, which I thought was it looked inauthentic.
Right, it looked fake.
It looked fake. It looked fake. Well, first of all, the running back didn't have anything to apologize for, and he apologized. I think he apologized for the way, I guess, he went about it, per se. But to me, I didn't feel like he needed to apologize. The coach needed to apologize.
And he did, by the way.
Wearing that damn T-shirt.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he came out and apologized. Okay. The guy's name is Chuba Hubbard. Chuba Hubbard. Yeah, threatened to boycott. I did see that he apologized. Mike Gundy apologized. That's the guy.
Mike Gundy. Yeah,
Mike Gundy. Yeah. Yeah. I had to look it up. Like I said, I I'm trying to find the apology, but it don't look like I'm finding it. But he did come out and apologize. To put it short, he did come out and apologize, and he was insensitive. The whole, the press release apology, which probably is not real.
Right. He can go.
Yeah. He's not, but they ain't gonna fire him.
No, they not.
They put the PR. They put the PR on it. The whole video, like you said, with the running back and coach, having a dialogue, and Yeah,
but I'm more tripping off the fact that he didn't apologize when he had the chance to in the video.
I'm tripping off the fact that he here's the thing. He owns the shirt. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he bought the shirt. He owned the shirt. He bought the shirt because he's a supporter of the network. It's not like you just threw the shirt on one day and was, accidentally threw it on, didn't know what it meant, whatever. He bought the shirt. He owns the shirt. Now, was he, and he was tone deaf enough or not cognizant to think, ooh, I'm about to be on camera. I can't wear this shirt.
This is Drew Brees 2.0, almost.
Yeah.
If not almost, it's about the exact same thing.
Yeah, because if it's not ignorance, then it's on purpose.
Yeah.
So so
it's being tone deaf to what everybody's been talking about.
It's either he's being tone deaf or he was trying to make a statement and didn't think that it was going to get the backlash that it got.
Right.
And it's like, come on, bro. Like, are you a racist? Are you a racist?
I'm waiting for you to say it, Maestro.
What, is he a racist or
no.
Come at me? I'm 40.
No, I'm waiting for you to say it.
Well, I don't even know what I'm gonna say.
That he's stupid, like you said. Drew Brees is stupid.
Nah, but see, here's the thing. I've come. The reason why I think Drew Brees is stupid is because he came. For him to be apologizing the way he apologized, like, the first one was bullshit. The second one was kind of like, maybe. But it seems like he's going through the necessary channels to correct his behavior. It seems that way. So there's that. As of right now, and I guess the story is still kind of new, Mike Gundy just came out with the bullshit PR apology. I don't know that you mean that. And it could either be one of the two things. Either you're stupid or you was trying to put a message out there. You was trying to represent that network that spews that rhetoric. And I don't know that dude well enough. Only thing I can remember about Gundy is the whole "come at me, I'm 40" joint.
I'm 40.
Yeah. That's the only thing I can remember about him. I don't recall if he's a good college coach. Now I would imagine he's like an average one, But I do want to know whether he's a racist. I mean, I want to know. I want to see what his actions are in support of the cause now that he came out with the PR apology, or does he think we just going to forget about it? What is he going to say to them black players in the locker room? These things matter. These things matter. Because, he ain't doing nothing to me personally, but he is affecting my people.
Oh, absolutely. I hope these players realize the power they got, man. Particularly the college football players. And, they're not making money in this sport, which I think could be a factor in all this.
Don't worry about that shit about to change, though.
It's going to change. It's going to change. But I'm saying, for now, if students decided we're not going to suit up, or we'll suit up, but we're not going to hit the field. We're going to, make a stand. We're not going to play. Then what's college football going to do at that point, right?
Yeah,
it's about sending a message loud and clear that we're not going to tolerate bigotry, and not to accuse anybody, but that would be the message. We're just not going to tolerate racism from people within our organization. We're not going to tolerate the organization itself for, saying how they feel about, us as a people.
Yeah.
So I hope these players realize they got more power than they think. They really do.
I hope we recognize as a culture that we got more power than we know.
Yeah, absolutely. I brought up the term cancel culture earlier in the show. So I would like to share the companies that I've canceled as of last week, right?
Uh-huh.
So I think everybody knows that Home Depot endorsed Donald Trump's campaign for this year. And I think they did for his previous campaign years ago. But it was really kind of like, oh, okay, it was whatever. But now that we got a little bit more awareness about, what's been going on.
We got to fuck with Lowe's.
Exactly. I just decided, you know what? I done paid off my Home Depot card. My aunt even texted me, was like, I made the last payment and I'm about to shred the card. More power, man. Because I told Debbie, I'm like, I am not buying another thing from Home Depot.
All right. I'm with you on that.
Lowe's is where it's at.
I'm with you on that. Lowe's is closer to me anyway.
Got a black CEO.
Yeah. All right. I'm with you on that. And I didn't know they had a black CEO. So I'm with you.
Yes.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
All right. I'm with you on Lowe's. I'll go with you. I go back to back with you because I have recently canceled somebody in my mind, and this one hurts.
I know where you going.
Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A.
Yes, sir.
I don't think I'm fucking with them. I'm upset with them. I'm not really fucking with them right now.
So before you go, did you see the email from the higher ups?
I did not. I did not. But here's the thing. And I'm thankful for my job. I wear a Black Lives Matter face mask to work every day since I got it. And I'm sure it rubs. Well, no, because I only have to, and I don't really have to see my white boss much anymore with all this going on.
Yep.
But they let me express myself, and particularly in these times. Yep. Look, listen here. If you could support Pride, well, and that, I guess Chick-fil-A didn't support gay pride, but
they did.
Yeah, but right now is just not the time. If they not doing nothing, if they not wearing no pendant that say, fuck crackers and don't, middle fingers or nothing. Black Lives Matter representation. Y'all gotta let y'all employees have that right now.
Yeah,
y'all gotta let them have that right now.
It's crazy. I pulled up the email
Okay.
from the Chick-fil-A upper management team, right? So it says, with the current events that are going on throughout the U.S. concerning the protests and what happened in Minneapolis last week, corporate, and they got this word blanked out, but it basically says corporate is asking that you do not post anything on social media if you have posted in your bio that you work at Chick-fil-A, or if you have photos posted with you in your Chick-fil-A uniform. We encourage you to voice your opinion on what is going on, but please do not have anything in your bio or on your page that represents Chick-fil-A. I read that. I said, I'm done. No more lemonade.
Oh, I love
more
that
Chick-fil-A.
food. That food is so good.
No more Chick-fil-A nuggets. No more spicy chicken sandwich. No more fruit cups. None of that stuff.
Bro. Can't do it. Can't do it.
I got a quick story in regard to Chick-fil-A on Saturday.
And you know what? I got so many points on my fucking Chick-fil-A account, and they're gonna have to run me my shit. They're gonna have to run me my free shit.
Reimburse you. I was gonna say give you some cash for.
They ain't gonna give me no cash. I'm gonna use up these. I'm gonna use up these points because that's free food, and then I'm done. Matter of fact, I'm gonna use that shit tomorrow. And I'm done. So
on Saturday, we're at the Walmart at Quarterfield around the corner here from our house, and right across the street is Chick-fil-A. So we get out of Walmart, we get in the car. It's about noon, so it's lunchtime. In my head, I'm like, we going to McDonald's. Yeah. In my head, we going to motherfucking McBoo-Boos over Chick-fil-A. So Debbie's like, she's like, babe, you missed a turn. I said, the turn to what? She was like, Chick-fil-A's right there. I was like, babe. And me and her, we already had to talk about, I showed her the email and all that stuff. And she's heartbroken. Yeah. Like she's it hurts. It hurts, bruh. Yeah. She cheated today though. She got slick. So I come home from the office today and I see a Chick-fil-A bag on the table. I gave her the look and I was like, babe, like what happened? I thought we was taking a stand here. She was like, I asked Nate what he wanted to eat. McDonald's and I was like, come on, you gonna put it on Nate? Don't do that. Don't do that. I picked up the bag and I asked Nate. I said, Nate, what's this? What food is this? And he was like, I don't know. I was like, babe, you trying to trick the boy? Like, you trying to make him give you an out? Yeah. Damn devil. But yeah, man, I'm with you. I'm with you. Done. 100% with Chick-fil-A. I am done. I don't care that the chicken was good. I don't care. Yeah. I'm done. It's gonna hurt though. I'm glad I had this conversation with you. Tomorrow is going to be officially my last Chick-fil-A day. Man. That's going to hurt. I gotta erase the app. Like I gotta erase the app because if I see the app, I'm gonna think, ooh, Chick-fil-A. Yeah. You gotta rid yourself of those things, man. Yeah. I've done good. I erased Uber Eats since they let nigga fly on Twitter. I let all that shit. I got rid of that. Papa John's. I got a little weak from the commercial, but I didn't go. Right. Not fucking with them. I've even taken time, Trey. I've taken time to find a lot of black owned, like laundry detergent, toothpaste, that type of shit. That I am going to start using. I agree with you, man. And like I've already found them. You found some. Like we buy black.com. That's what's up. Yeah. That's what's good. So I've been invited to a couple of Facebook groups where everyone who's black promotes their products, T-shirts, cars, whatever, whatever it is. I'll make sure to send you a invite to these groups because they're showcasing a lot of their talents and stuff. Some people make T-shirts with their own machines and things like that, and I think that's great. We should just start networking with people and, putting their businesses out there. And, last week, I don't know if you saw my post from the previous weekend. There's a crab house in the area here. It's in Little River.
Mm-hmm.
You saw that, right? Yeah. And, man.
Shut their stupid asses down.
Yeah, shut them down. Shut them the hell. Shut these businesses down.
Yeah, shut them down.
Want to post racial comments about their patrons.
Yeah, shut them down.
Man,
suckers.
That was one, because they flooded the block, they flooded the parking lot in front of the store, and they said, we as a people, we not going to take this.
We're not going for that. Yeah,
there's black owned crab houses on the other side of town.
Yeah,
we can go.
Yeah.
So, I'm all for that. That's why I posted that, man. I tell you what I did in regards to posting that. The lady that was in the video that was speaking, who was leading the protest.
Yeah.
I had to clip about 4 different parts of the video because she spoke so gracious about how important it is for us to understand that our dollars matter.
Yeah.
And when we decide we're not going to patronize a particular business as a group, as a community, that looms large.
Man. Yeah.
So everyone, and if you folks, care to, take a look at the post, just if you're friends with me on Facebook, Trey Frazier, just check out my Facebook page. You'll see from a couple Saturdays ago, I posted some information about a racist crab house that's not going to recover from this, quite frankly.
And good for them.
Yeah, no question about it.
Yeah, Bob Shot Sports Talk podcast. I want to say what's up to Mac Farrell. I don't think we did.
What up, Mac?
Yeah, we ain't seen him in a minute. So shout out to Mac Farrell. I am also, this one don't hurt as much, but every now and then I like to go here. No more. And I don't care that you printed out shirts that support Black Lives Matter. I don't care that you collabed with a corporation to do it. Stop depriving these people their right to protest. If it's not anything offensive on that protesting material, let them protest the way they protest. Starbucks, I am done with your ass too.
Now, they did similar to what Chick-fil-A did in terms of them saying, if you got social media, you can post Black Lives Matter, but don't, disclose that you work for us. We don't want to be involved with any posts, all that stuff.
But then was like, don't worry, we coming back. We coming with the shirts that y'all can wear. I don't want to wear your shirt. I want to wear my pen. I want to wear my face mask because I got to wear a face mask anyway. So I want you to see how I feel about my people.
I'm trying to think, have I ever stepped foot in a Starbucks?
Oh yeah, I definitely have. They had their strawberry lemonade with the black tea in it. Man, fire. Okay. I somebody got it for me one day and I fell in love. So every time I roll past, I'm feeling good on a Saturday. I'll mess around and get that drink. It's a nice little drink. It's cool you off on a hot summer day. But yeah, to hell with it. It's dead. Done with Starbucks.
Never was a coffee fan.
I'm not a big coffee fan. The only reason I drink coffee is because it's in my face every single morning at work. But that's the extent of my coffee. I don't go there and buy coffee. I don't buy coffee.
Yeah. I don't even know what's on their menu. I mean, you just told me about the strawberry stuff.
Man, that shit is delicious though.
There's 2 things I know of their menu. That and the coffee.
Yeah.
So I was never a fan of them to begin with, and I won't be never again.
Yep. won't be patronizing Starbucks anymore.
Nope. Hey, Vince Wright got a question in the chat room. He says, y'all think NBA is going to come back still? And we talked about it, kind of earlier in the show.
Yeah. I think
they'll come back. Yeah, they'll come back.
They'll be back.
They'll come back. I think you'll see some players not wanting to play,
and the NBA should hold that.
Yep, and it should be their prerogative to do so.
Yep.
So
facts.
Roger Goodell And this is the last thing I got.
Okay, so I ain't got nothing else neither.
Yep. So Roger Goodell comes out on TV and says he endorses Kaepernick to be picked up by a team.
Shut your fake ass up.
And watching that, he didn't look sincere. Also, like he kept looking down. He was just kind of like, yeah, we I endorse any team to pick up Kaepernick. I'm like, dude, why can't you look directly at the camera at least?
Apologize to that man.
At least make us think you serious, bro.
Apologize to that damn. Apologize to him.
Yeah, but other than that, do you think someone's gonna sign Colin Kaepernick?
No,
because I think they are.
I don't.
You don't think so?
Nope.
Okay. I think someone's gonna give him a chance.
You think somebody gonna feel guilty or try to play the ooh, look at us, we woke?
I think somebody's gonna come out and
play the we woke card.
I think so.
I mean, look,
it's popular right now.
And if they do, good for Colin Kaepernick, but I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Yeah. It's a 50-50 at this point.
Sure. Yeah, Roger Goodell, look, I get it. But I tell you what, for a sense of perspective. And this goes back to him including Jay-Z and, giving him a role in the NFL. Yep. He may very well be doing these things for the wrong reasons. Mm-hmm. But or for ingenuine reasons, but if that is our opportunity to come in there and make a change and uplift the culture and change some policy, and not only the NFL but help out and the system of oppression that we live in as black people, good for him. Yeah. If he's the guy that's in power, the owner, the commissioner of the NFL, while things change, then even if he did it on accident, hey, you deserve the credit. So while I think it's ingenuine, and while I don't think he's doing it because he genuinely 100% has an understanding. At least an understanding, not necessarily sympathize, but it has some type of an understanding of the issues that are going on and is trying to, help make a change. Even if he's not doing it for those reasons, he's at least putting people in position who are trying to make change. And if he lets it happen, kudos to him.
Although I do have a prediction, and Vince Wright, Vince Wright interviewed me last week, and I was talking about this on his show. But I do have a prediction. I think the silence of the owners speaks volumes. And let's remember, Goodell works for the owners. It's not the other way around.
Correct.
So I think in the short term, and I don't know how many years he's got left on his deal to be commissioner or whatnot. I think within 2 years, Goodell will no longer be commissioner of the NFL.
Okay.
Unless owners start to come out and start to speak up for Black Lives Matter and the like. If they don't do that moving forward into the season, then I could see Goodell being gone. And I think what would be dope with that, given that he hooked up Jay-Z with the partnership and all that stuff, it'd be so dope if Jay-Z was the new commissioner of the NFL.
Yeah, that would be dope, but
not trying to, put any,
no, that'd be amazing.
Give nobody's hopes up. Not trying to, stir the pot or anything.
Trust me, my hopes are not up for that. My hopes are not up for that. But that would be amazing. Yes.
That would be amazing if Goodell passed the torch and said, "Here, Jay."
Yeah. Oh no, that's no way in hell. No way in hell. If he did that, it'd be Greg Popovich, and then it'd be Roger Goodell if he ever did that. Yeah. And shout out to Greg Popovich, by the way. You spoke on silent speaking volumes. I said you made me think. You made me think about a post I saw on Facebook where somebody asked about how they feel about Mike Tomlin not releasing a statement about everything that's going on. Do you have what is your take on coaches? Because you spoke about owners. Right. The only coach in the NFL that I can recall came out with a statement, and correct me if I'm wrong, is the Texans coach, Bill O'Brien.
Okay, so just to kind of go down a list here.
Okay.
And me and Debbie was kind of talking about this the other night. My Ravens, the owner came out on a video and said, you know, what's going on with police brutality. And again, I'm paraphrasing.
Sure.
But Steve Bisciotti called it out point blank and said, hey, this is wrong. What's been going on with black people? We need to be more educated. We need to be more aware of what's going on. He even had like a Zoom meeting with all the players. Mark Ingram was a part of it. Matt Judon was a part of it. Lamar Jackson was a part of it. And, you know, I'm hearing people saying, oh, Lamar's not speaking up. Well, I mean, okay. You know, and I kind of feel the same way about Tomlin. Like, okay, he's not speaking up, but given his history, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'll say the same thing about Anthony Lynn, because I haven't heard Anthony Lynn say anything.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it is what it is. But
I'll give my take on it.
But just to, I'm sorry, but just to go down to go down the list here. So the Ravens owner came out and publicly, you know, supported Black Lives Matter. I know the Titans ownership came out, did the same thing.
Okay.
We talked about Bill O'Brien already. And Brian Flores. I thought Brian Flores said something.
Okay.
With the Dolphins. So that's all I know up to this point.
Gotcha. My response as far as that goes, I don't know if you saw the Dave Chappelle special yet.
I did not. Heard it was dope.
Oh my God, Trey! When you get off of this podcast, go watch. It's on YouTube. It's literally on YouTube.
Okay, I was just about to say Netflix.
It's supposed to be a Netflix special, but I've seen it on Instagram. I've seen it on YouTube. Okay. I have yet to see it on Netflix. So I'm guessing
he called out Don Lemon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, now he necessarily called him out, but
he mentioned him.
He mentioned him. Yeah.
Yep.
Man, but he said in that special, and it's funny because Don Lemon is a part of this story. He spoke about Don Lemon saying on TV, questioning why haven't celebrities come out and spoke to social injustices, and he started naming guys by name, and Dave Chappelle was talking about he wishes.
I watched Don Lemon when he did that.
Okay. So Dave Chappelle was saying that, talking about how he was on the wishing that Don Lemon would say would say his name. Like he was watching TV, like, I dare you say my name, nigga. But Dave Chappelle's response, which is genius, but oh my God. Why in the fuck would you want to hear from a celebrity about what's going on right now? The streets, like,
they're not in the streets.
Tomlin speaking is the streets are saying enough. The streets are doing a good enough job in projecting or portraying what the issues are, facilitate what the issues are. Any celebrity, all that does is take away the eyes from what the streets are saying and puts it on celebrities who aren't in the trenches.
Right.
And so to every celebrity per se, every famous person that's not speaking, the way I'm with them, the way Dave Chappelle said, you don't have to say nothing if you don't want to say nothing, because the streets are speaking, and they are representing us as black people just fine. Watch that special tonight, Trey. I am. Oh my God! I done watched it like five, 6 times. I think yesterday was maybe the first day I hadn't watched it since it's been out. Yeah, that boy.
I heard about it. I heard, and Don Lemon was talking about how his name was mentioned during that Dave Chappelle, stand up or whatever, and he really appreciated being, not so much called out, because I don't, like you said, he didn't really call him out.
Yeah, he didn't disrespect him per se. He just responded to Don Lemon's comments. That's what that's really what he did.
Yeah, exactly. But just one little side note to that. I did watch Don Lemon's show when he did call out those names.
And do you remember what the names were?
Tyler Perry.
Oh, yes. Yeah, so he went there. Oprah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He went there. Tyler Perry. I thought he said Jay, but I don't think he said Jay.
Okay.
Did he say Oprah?
I feel like, because I recall Oprah's name has been mentioned a few times.
But the one name that kind of really caught my attention was Jane Fonda. And yeah, and here's why. And I'm trying to figure out, I'm like, wait, Jane Fonda, the old white lady that beat the piece? So it turns out the next day, Jane Fonda called into his show. And they were talking about, the issues and stuff. Mm-hmm. Little did I know, Jane Fonda was about that life, back in her day. Like, she marched with, was it Dr. King? She marched with somebody.
But she marched in the name of the cause.
Right. She marched in so many of these protests that, and I was doing some research on Twitter also, but she's got mugshots of her from being arrested, for being involved in a protest and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's when I was like, oh, that's why he called her out, because she about that life.
Yeah.
She marched. She stood up for us as a people. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah.
That was something that really kind of wowed me. I'm like, wait, why are you calling out Jane Fonda? And, turns out after just doing some research, she did marches and marched with us and got arrested. No doubt. I got nothing else, man.
Hey, man. Hey, well, look, man, I want to say thank you to all the listeners, anybody who listened in the chat room, anybody who's going to listen on demand. We appreciate you. We love you, man. And I'm that is another phrase that I'm going to start exercising more. You know what I'm saying? So I love you. I appreciate you listening. If you follow me on Instagram at Maestro Styles, follow Trey at Trey Frazier. You can follow the podcast at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. You can follow me on Twitter at Maestro Styles. You can follow Trey at Barbershop SPOR2. Like the Facebook page, follow the Facebook page, and subscribe on YouTube. For Trey Frazier, I am Maestro Styles. We will see you next week. Love.